hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ya ya hey ya hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya 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 hey ha yo hey yo hey yo Fort Beck Community College Uki Epino yo yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi piano yo yo wata pebi agik tabi ihachi ya bino hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ya yo hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha ya hey yo hey yo hey yo Fort Beck Community College Ugi Epino yo yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi piano yo yo wata pebi agik tabi ihachi ya bino hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ya yo hey ya hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha hey yo hey yo hey yo Fort Beck Community College Uki Epino yo yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi piano yo yo wata pebi hagik tabi ihachi ya bino hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ya yo hey ya hey ha yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ha hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ha hey yo hey yo hey yo Fort Peck Community College Uki Epino yo yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi piano yo yo wata pebi agik tabi ihachi ya bino hey yo
Oh, mitakupi yushke wanchan kampe. Chante washtea yuha na pech yuzapido. Wana wakchinja wakpa wonspe wankantuya dechia daya ya hipido mitakupi ke Elijah Hopkins demie. Hello, relatives, and again, welcome to the Buffalo Chasers podcast. I am joined, as usual, with Dekshi, Tommy Christian's in the house. So we thank you for joining us today. for our week 38 of the podcast on June 17th, 2021 here. We have a few announcements to make here regarding some winners, some podcast items, raffles that we have every week. But before we get started on some of those, we will go ahead and wait for Dami to finish this phone call.
I'll call you back.
Oh, Dex, if you could offer a prayer for us.
Oh, whoopila. Tushka. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Mitake pidaya hipi ambe tukile michante tao agla ke nahana pe chuza pelo. Ushima lo ekchewi chashamia lo na hohe chajemi ta wamnisha ge doba imachiapi. Omakia wachekia ambe tukile naha. Mushia kenitake pidiksi apo. Tukashila na wakantanka tadeuya doba unchima kana makaina. Na kumitake epi wanagi mapea ktaya ge. Mushia kenitake epi unchima kao mani wayaza pi na unchima kao mani chante yoksichon. Okia chawo ushui chalapo. Tukashila na wakantanka giksi apo nitake epi agichita oyate kizuya ekta wichasha bile wiapile o wichakia po ushu wichalapo chanku washte upi. Tukashila na wakantanka gixiapo mitakia pinaha winuk chalapi wichak chalapi wakaya japi hukshilapi winchinchalapi na kushkapi wikushkapi chanku washte upi wichozani washte upi okia wa ushu wichalapo. Ekcha wichasha mialo naha o wichakia po Mitaki api naha itanchia pi hecha naha o wichakia po. How mitaki oasi, wamakashka oasi.
Oh, Yidamaya Yado. Dekshi, again, beautiful prayer. Relatives are week 37 drawing winners. I believe we have a jacket up for grabs here, and the winner of that Cho Buffalo Chasers jacket is none other than Donna Lee. Winner chicken dinner. Congratulations, Donna. Oh, okay. We also have a Kindle Fire tablet. And that the winner of that is Marcella May. Winner chicken dinner. Congratulations to Marcella and Donna. You can retrieve those items at the War Eagle Vision building in Poplar. If you're local, if you're not in the area, if you're over across the Medicine line where some of our viewership is, or wherever you're at, if you're unable to make it over to the War Eagle Vision building on main campus in Poplar, just give them a call, 406-768-6370, and they can mail those items out to you. So again, congratulations to both of you. So I don't know about you, Dex, but I believe it's just going to be you and me today. We might have Earl joining us later on. There might be some technical difficulties happening with the third amigo, but nonetheless, we persevere. We'll try carrying the podcast on our back, to the finish line. But as long as we got Dexy here, I feel good, because whether it's golfing advice, how to stroke the tee, or he always has a lot to share. So whatever as long as we, for our audience, if this is your first time joining us, I see there's a few new faces on the Zoom webinar option for our students. Weekly we try to our darndest to address, to discuss from a cultural perspective, sometimes lived experiences from elders, sometimes through stories, through humor, how we address mental health. And so that's one of the main things. And every week there's a little different content, but we try to interweave some really cool things. And oh man, we prayed really hard, man. And all of a sudden, Dekshi Earl joins us, man. Right.
Okay. Well, pia we chasha hemi.
Oh, hecha, hoka. Makaya, huh?
Oh.
But relatives, it looks like so Earl's gonna be joining us here, and whatever you and Earl, Dex wanna cover, we're all ears. So
Okay. Oh, che, Diana here. Doki Alala, where'd you go? Can you hear us? Oh,
That's the one.
oh, we can hear you, but can you hear us? Che. Agnagoptawo. Che. Agnagoptawo. Can you hear us? No, you can't hear us. No, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, something's going on here. Chie, raise your thumb if you could hear us. Just him and Matthew kind of toughing it out here. We can see your big nose. Pasu tankayu, huh? That's it too. Okay. Well, anyway, well, as Chie is getting all hooked up here and getting all that technical stuff taken care of, we'll Toshka, it's kind of like that season, like a lot of people don't understand New Year's, for us indigenous folk, for lack of a better word. Those of us that believe we come from the Turtle Island or Mother Earth and all that good stuff. And in that natural process, our New Year is now. Like when it starts budding and it starts new growth, new birds are being born, new calves are being born, all that good stuff. So,
in the right place.
can you hear us, Chia? Chia,
I don't need this. I don't know.
Agnagoptawo.
There.
Chia. You could call us on the phone too, eh, Coach? I think he's calling you. No, they're trying something. He's trying to hook up. But anyway, getting back to this new year. Well, he's calling me. Let me see what he says. Oh, Chia.
Yeah, I can hear you on the phone. I just got back from another meeting, so it's running behind. Don't cut the door, you know.
Yeah, Lilo Khatado. 10 minutes chat, Matelo. It's so hot out, I almost sweat to death, he said.
I'll put my phone number in the chat.
Oh.
Then he can call my phone number. I'll put it in the chat.
What's that? Did you say something?
What's my phone number?
Yeah, I said I put my phone number, my cell phone, in the chat.
Yeah.
So have him call that, and then it'll patch into the system so we can hear him.
Did you get that?
And he could hear us.
Call Elijah. Call Elijah. He put his phone number on the chat. You get it?
Something's going on there. I pushed it.
Yeah. Go to the chat, and then his phone number is on there. Call that.
Test message, direct message. 406-230-0204. Head.
Oh, that's it. Oh, call him. All right, can you still hear me, Toshka?
Yeah, hear you good.
Okay, get this guy hooked up again. Hey, when are you going to give me that new computer, by the way, and a new phone, new microphone? I need a setup.
We'll have to visit with our Olivia. She's got the stuff. So.
There, now.
Actually, have him call again because I accidentally hung up on him.
Oh, call again. Shit.
Oh. Oh, you should be receiving it any minute now.
Earl Bullhead.
Oh boy. That's what that said. Oh boy.
Okay, can you hear us
sound
now,
like,
Earl?
yeah, sound like that character in Bullwinkle, eh?
Yeah. Oh boy. All right.
Yeah.
Well, what I was talking about, Earl, is those of us that kind of have an understanding of our indigeneity, trying to make up a new word here, where we believe that we're of Turtle Island, and that's where we came from based on the minerals in our body, Gayabado, all that good stuff. But this is our new year. When the buds first come out, the calves are being born, the new birds are being born, new growth to our Mother Earth, all this medicine is coming. And then right after that, New Year becomes a time to pick certain plants. And that's something that we're going to do on Monday and Tuesday. I believe I'll go pick up Toshka Elijah. We'll go out and look for some Pejirchod and probably Tipsela, see if we can get some of that and get some other stuff. And then June berries aren't ready yet because they checked them, but they're a little late this year, but that's okay. And then when that comes out, we'll pick those and dry those or make jam or whatever. But you see, it's kind of a busy time for those that live under that natural law and get all those medicines. My adopted father would always remind me in spring, we always wait till they bud or they blossom. He said that's when the medicine is the strongest, and that's when you go get your medicine. So that's just kind of something I would go by. And then you'd utilize medicine like we got black root that we use for toothaches or heart medicine or whatever we call it. That white men call it euthanasia, but we call it black root. We've been using that for dona years. Down in Fort Yates, they call it toothache medicine, but it's also good for other things, your heart and your blood and all those things that go in there, go in your bloodstream, but it's good for that as well. Up north in Canada, they call it 1001 medicine because they use it in all their medicines because it's so diverse like that in helping to affect us in a good way. And then, of course, we gather these things and just kind of keep ourselves busy. So there never was really a time to sit back and not be busy, eh? Especially when there's new growth, new plants, and this is what I wanted to talk about today, Chie, is our dependency on song from a natural process and how that originated, how that came about. Because again, if you think about it, the meadowlarks and various other animals helped us to learn our language or speak our language, and that they sang a song, that they would sing songs. And so a lot of this, the origins of a lot of our ceremonies, and you'll notice every ceremony there is involved with what I would call a wakan yapi oloma. Does that make sense, Chie? Does that
Oh, yeah.
translate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's every occurrence of anything that is special ceremonial significance, just the oral practice of either composing a song, creating a song, or receiving a song, or passing a song from one generation has been there for the first ug.
Remember the story on the flute? How that woodpecker pecked that hole in that wood, and the wind blew it, and then that sound came. And see, that's what I wanted to share people, because a lot of people think we're embellishing the truth, but it's not a mythology, it's not a myth that we live by, it's actually something that happens naturally. And see, they don't understand that. And even our language, it helped us to connect with that animal world in that way, because they helped us to understand how we utilize our voice in that way, how we communicate with one another. And people can't accept that because they don't understand the origins of some of how we come about to utilizing our voice in a good way. That's why I call it Yapi. And people don't understand that, but they got to realize that's something that's filled with that spiritual energy that we should utilize in a respectful way. That's why there's no sarcasm when we speak. We don't use facetiousness to make a point. What we say is what we mean. What we mean is what we say. Would you agree with that, Jay?
There's a couple of examples of over by town between Mobridge and Wakapala, there's a bridge that they built, and throughout places I'd been, Lawrence, Kansas, or wherever I go, and they said, yeah, we've been up that way. We went across the Singing Bridge.
Yeah.
It's made out of concrete, steel, and all that. But
Yeah.
when you go on that bridge, it sounds like there's a singing going on, because of the rotation of the tires. And a couple other ones is a bottle too. You're hearing wind blowing through a bottle, and it gives them a pitch and a kind of a rhythm. So they took that and made a tune out of it. And then just, you got a tire going down the road, they're listening, and they got a tune out of that, Or if you got your senses together and relaxed and stuff like that, those ideas, whether they happen when you're riding on a horse, or if you're in a wagon and riding a horse-drawn wagon, or if you're walking, those things come about,
There's a rhythm.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
yeah, especially the rhythm of the horse.
Yeah.
I've always been, I would just call it, really appreciative of a comment that one of our traditional dancers made from Cheyenne River. We were late for a powwow in Rapid City, and he was standing and we were bringing in a drum. And his comment was, "Howana, Dankilwa Chi'owaki," because he's an old horseman, cowboy, Indian cowboy.
Huh.
That horse has a gait, right?
Dancing,
So that's what I taught. Yeah, to taught the drum. I said, you have to pretend you're riding a horse, and how you put that rhythm into your drumstick. It's not straight, it's kind of like a skip there, and put that together and then put the song together. And so we were known for that. And so we got called on a lot when it comes to traditional dancing for the men and women, because we knew what that beat represented. And a lot of our young people probably never been on a horse, or if they have, they didn't recognize that the nice gallop that fits together with the tune, So I've always done that way, and I was told that as a young boy. And another thing that I was taught as a young boy when it comes to pitching a song, my Uncle Bill said, there's a rim that goes around the old wagon wheel. It used to be orange, and it holds the wood part of the bearings and stuff together. He said, "Hey, yeah." I said, "Find one of those." So I went around looking around. Then he said, "Oh, he said, find a spool, an empty spool. Ask your auntie or one of your mom or somebody if they have an empty spool." I don't know what I was making. Anyway, then he said, "Well," he said, "give him a piece of clothesline wire." And when he got those, he said, "I'll show you how to pitch your songs." All right. So I just did what I was told, and he made that a handle on it, went down to that, and he made a hook on it, put the spool on it, hooked it back up, wouldn't come off. And when you put that on that spool, that rim on that off that tire, it would make a pitch, And so if you ran real slow with it, you had kind of a medium range, But if you speed it up, the pitch started getting higher and higher. And so remembering that's how you start at a certain pitch, and then you start taking it up. And finally you're going at a speed or a rhythm, and then you can bring in the high singing.
Yeah.
No, it's all screaming.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
So all those little things, they come to pass. I mean, they just eventually show up. When you're talking about songs, and then the actual composition of songs, you just can't sit down. You have to put your mind in the right frame, for example, when Poplar, they were family asked me to sing an honor song for I think it was Jim Eater.
Yeah.
At the time, their
James.
family was in the process of even getting a Congressional Medal of Honor. I don't know what the status of that is anymore. And so I did not know him, but they brought me the honor, and so I had to try anyway. And so
Yeah.
they gave me an article from a newspaper, and I read it over and over and kept thinking about it. So when do you need this? They said tomorrow. Yeah. So that night I kept thinking about it. You know, what he was doing, what he was faced, when he was getting that medal was getting qualified for that medal. You know, and I thought, you know, what was going through his mind, that he was the enemy was approaching him, and he had to go up against him with what he had. And so that's what I talked about, you know, put it into a song. And so having the experience and the mindset and the training, right? You go ahead and say, all right, I got to try. Watch him, Ayapi. So they're depending on me. So we sang that song, and I don't think we ever used it again, but we still know it. So whenever that ever happens, if someone recorded it, so be it, you know. But anyway, having that mindset, what they call wahwala, you learn to let it come and don't get nahincha, don't get nervous. Something's going to click. Yeah. And I've done that over and over. I mean, it's just, you do it so many times, it's just part of you now, you know?
Yeah.
Just like I've been asked to make a song for the women veterans. And so I'm working on that. And then one in Fort Peck, another song, and another one about oral history. It's just a matter of this voice getting there. And they're ready, you know, they're here, but I just can't do the quality I want in those tapes. Now I can make it reverb and echo and all that kind of stuff, but I really not into that.
Takes the naturalness out of it.
Yeah. So anyway, in all the times that I've been able to learn things like that, treatment gave me a big benefit. It taught us how you think of something, don't worry about it, it'll pop up. Yeah. REM or something like that, some fancy term. And I've used that. You were asked to sing a song in United Tribes, and so they wanted it at 2:00. And we were like about 20 minutes away from 2:00. And so I asked him, I said, what's his Indian name? He said, Keeper of the Sacred Blue Sage Lodge was his name.
Holy.
You have to put that into Lakota words, you know?
Yeah.
And gee, you know, we were panicking. We tried this, tried that. We were just panicking. When I just said about 5 minutes to, I said, let's relax. Something's going to happen here. And in about a couple of minutes to, they're getting all ready with their goods and stuff like that to go out. I remember singing with Mike and Dana up in Winnipeg previous year or so. And Mike hummed this tune, Wawokia Nasipo, you know, stand and help. And so all of a sudden that popped in. So I don't care how long that name is now, I'm always ready with that song.
It'll fit.
It'll fit in that tune, yeah.
Yeah. That's it too. You know, that's one thing that I feel like they always call like our songs of spirituality, prayer songs, and it just kind of rubs my fur the wrong way, Chie. How do you feel about that? That's why when I refer to them, I call them Makanyapi Oloma, because they're not prayer songs per se, the way they intend them. They're not. They're melodies filled with spiritual energy, like what you're saying.
They're repeating things that somebody else had said.
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of really looking at the down meaning of the song.
Yeah.
Like when I first composed this, first song I ever composed was the sobriety song.
Mm-hmm.
And what I went through for that to go through was a reemergence about, you know, my life changing and how it came about. That for years and years I dealt with this issue of being abused, you know,
Yeah.
and so there was a lot of emotion involved in it, and then the feeling of being alone. You know, no one's called me, no one's wrote
Yeah.
to me, you know, and then
Yeah.
feeling sorry for yourself and going through all those emotional
Oh,
things.
duh.
Suddenly, you realize and said, "Hey, they just talked to us about you're not really alone." You know, there's always somebody watching over you, and I really believe that.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
oh.
here, that came from the heart, came from the soul, and it became a song that these uh, these programs use. You know, so you never know when that's going to happen, and so I recorded it along with other songs that happen the same way.
Well,
You get
what's
it from
that
your
word?
life's experience.
Yeah, what's that
That's right.
word? Wakasibiachi, or how do you say it? Free of drugs and alcohol.
Oh, waik sabye,
Waiksabiet.
waik sabye. Yeah,
Waiksabiet. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's the one I was trying to find. I couldn't
Not waik
remember.
sabye, waik sabye.
Waik.
There were a lot of people didn't understand that word.
Yeah,
You know, they said, "We've never heard that before." And later on, they said, "Yeah, that we got it. That's right. We asked
it
people. That's right."
fits. Yeah, it works. Yeah.
Yeah. So it comes with that. So anyway, so as the years go by and all this kind of stuff, you all of a sudden you get this feeling and you sing something. You know, it just comes out,
Uh-huh.
and well, that sounds pretty good. You know, that's I could use that, and then you forget about it. You know, and so
Yeah.
that's the mistake
Yeah.
that I shouldn't be doing. But my wife told me that she said you need to record those things.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be too long before you're not gonna remember anything. And it's true. You know, when you're calling your missus by the wrong name, you know when things are happening.
When
What
I
did
was
you call
announcing,
me?
yeah, when I was announcing, I used to tease about that getting Alzheimer's. I'd say,
Yeah.
when I get old, I can't wait to get Alzheimer's. They'd say, why is that, Tommy? I said, because I'd wake up to a new woman every morning.
Ah,
What's your name again? Shan say one. But
yeah. Well,
yeah, yeah.
not to go off on a wrong track, but
I took it to the wrong place right
astonishing
away.
thing that I see.
Yeah,
But anyway, so in my thinking about it's that's individual's responsibility to explain the song he's going to sing,
yeah,
not at powwows, you know, but to
yeah,
the family. You know, here's what the song means.
yeah,
This is how it came about. He said, and this is, would you like this song to be sung for this? And they said, and trust you, let's do it, you know?
yeah,
So you do over the years develop this confidence in the relatives about making songs. Like when Burdick passed away, they call all the lead singers. I knew exactly what song they were going to sing, you know, so they had all these singers out there. So I started go lay down for a while because that's going to take an hour or two, you know.
yeah.
So I was going to go to my tent. Just I was crawling in the door, Jerome. He said, "Hey," he said, "Boże," I said, "Nicho," I said, "Wachilia." He said, "Nicho."
Yeah.
I knew
Inviting
he was
you over
talking about
here.
me.
Get over here.
And I went over there and they were waiting and I walked in. I said, "What song are you going to sing?" And sure enough, the song I knew they were going to sing. I said, "Do you have the right to sing that song?"
Yeah.
They looked at me and astonished. I said, "That is a family song for someone who lost a loved one.
Mhm.
You need to know about it before you render it."
Yeah.
I said, "Your grandfather works in mysterious ways." I said, "I have the right to use that song." The great grandmother of that little baby or that family member told me that to use it whenever I thought appropriate.
Yeah.
You know, she gave me that. It was composed by Sievert Youngberg.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So those are the kind of things that are, how would you say, have been left out of a circle that was based on those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the honorings and the recognitions and all this stuff. And wherever this contesting began, I don't know. I don't know where that began. But
Yeah.
it's going to turn around full circle, and I've said that before. We've come a long ways together, our nations, this red nation, but we forgot the etiquette and protocol and history of our drums.
Yeah.
Lots of them are not aware of this whole thing.
You know, and,
There's a lot of
this-
education that needs to be done, you know?
yeah, and in a contemporary way, because you know a lot of them songs, once they put them on CD or record or a tape, that essentially was giving the right to sing those songs to everybody, and nobody understood the impact that was going to have, and now they're complaining about, hey, how come you're singing my song? Well, you sold it. Essentially, they got money
Yeah.
for that, so they sold that
Yeah.
song to everybody once they put it on the airwaves. If you wanted to maintain that, then you wouldn't put it on record, you wouldn't put it on CD, you wouldn't put it on a video or anything like that, because you had that respect.
I just found out from my daughter who works in Iowa. She met a guy in Chicago by accident, and when she told her name to him, she said, "Are you related to Earl Bullhead?"
Yeah.
She said, "That's my father."
Oh,
And so he said, "I would like to visit him and talk to him." He said, "I do research and backgrounds on these recording companies that are abusing Native Americans' music."
yeah,
And he said, the amount of usage of however they do it nowadays, everything else is in the past. CDs have been coming out of the past. Now everything's online. So anyway, he said, let me look into it. He said, see what happened there. So I'm not really sure how that works, but I suppose you pick up a phone, they have one of my songs on there. And so when those old things first came out, my purpose was to educate people.
yeah,
To see that they hear it and they understand it. And so you don't hear too many of my songs at powwows
yeah,
unless they know the history. You know, like that young man, what's his name? With Showtime, I think it is. That's Billy's boy. Billy Runsabou's boy.
Walter.
He talked to me about, I guess, where he donated his kidney to his dad.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah,
Showtime.
yeah.
But anyway, so he was saying that song, and I said, do it right.
Yeah.
Take the time to practice it and do it right. Man, they make it sound good. Better than I can sing it. What do you see? That's
But
what
he
it's about.
asked,
He was taught those.
Yeah, he
He
asked
was
based
taught
on his
those things.
teachings. Yeah.
Yeah, he had the respect.
Oh, etched to him.
Crazy
You know
Horse
that-
Singer sang a song.
Go ahead, bro.
Crazy Horse Singer sang a song that I translated out of the Densmore collection for Chico. And oh man, of all times not to have a recorder.
Oh,
And
man.
it was awesome,
Yeah,
It was totally awesome, man. But anyway, but what I've learned is a lot of young kids, they were working on this, or I've been participating with the STAR thing and how to incorporate Lakota language into math. And as they're talking about some of the ways in which to approach it and the inner terms that are used, and I said, hey,
yeah,
we're talking about heaven, we're talking about stars. I made a song for that. A little girl down there in Pine Ridge, dad came up and asked me if his daughter could use that song. I said, yes. Pronounce the words first, so she gets it right. she was running for princess.
Uh-huh.
So I said, that'd be an honor. I said,
Oh,
go for it. I said, so those things, kind of things are, if people understand and know how to use it, that's the respectful way, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But when they use a song, it's kind of insulting. We took 6 A's instead of 6 islands. Yeah. We thought shot
6
A.
eggs or
We
6
thought shot
something else.
It's a veteran song. They're saying we took 6 A's.
Wink yeah, wink it's
Yeah,
supposed to be
six
islands.
islands in your eye.
Wink,
You need to talk to those boys.
Did you hear that one, Toshka?
Yeah.
They're singing a song about 6 islands, a veteran song. In Japanese, in Japan, they took 6 islands. They were saying we took 6 eggs when they were singing it instead of islands. It's kind of close. But you got to enunciate properly.
Those people, elderly and all that kind of stuff, somewhere along the line, we lost that connection. So more education we have to do, the better.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of years ago, we sang a song in Cannonball, and nobody reacted to it. It's a song right there from their community.
Yeah.
You know,
But
all
you
of
see,
that is,
yeah, that's what I was thinking about today. I'm kind of in a quandary, or I have a dilemma with myself as it relates to how to be fully effective with this virtual experience. Because now that the epistemology needs to change or needs to adapt and catch up with this virtual experience. We need to address these in a methodology that is can keep up with our virtual. Like before, you'd have to travel to Cannonball and then go share those words, and then they'd ask you to sing it, and they give you tobacco. Well, now we're going to have to catch up with ourselves as it relates to an opportunity that arises where you can share on FaceTime or whatever. And then when they see you again, they'll give you tobacco or something like. But something's got to be addressed there. That's my dilemma that I'm caught up in, is how we can apply without losing the integrity of who we are as a people based on our value system, and adapt it to catch up with what is currently being utilized. Because that's why I mentioned when they put them on records and they put them on CDs, they sold those songs to everybody, and so now they can't complain. And but at the same time, there's personal songs that you didn't sell that they would have no right to, and that's where they'd have to go ask. But I'm wondering how.
I've been through that, so I think we're on the right step here. It's just a matter of our voice, our opportunity to be able to. And I think this medium we could do it.
Yes.
Got a good microphone.
Yeah.
And
clear.
You know, just getting the text on the screen.
Right on screen.
You can sing the song, and then after it's over, you know, you can explain it. You know, where it came from. It's like, here's a good example. I was up in Fort Totten, and I was singing me and Cal Gunn. And it came around the circle, and we were up for to sing a flag song, Retire the Colors.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Cal, I said, what do you think? I said, I know the song's from South. I said, and there's a flag song from Montana that they used to call it a North Dakota flag song. And he said, how does it go? So I pitched it, and he heard it, and he said, you know, he said, I know the history of that tune. He said there was an elderly man that was kind of getting to the point where he's getting a little helpless. So this young man went and stayed with him in the winters to help him out. But he had nothing to give this young man, right?
Yeah.
So he said, all I got for you, he said, is this tune. And so he sang it. He would sing it to that guy until he learned it. And somebody somewhere along the line put words to it, you know?
Yeah.
So here we are singing a song that came from Fort Belknap area that way. So Cal knew that tune. I says, well, you carried the tune, started, and I said, no, we'll go slow and we'll eventually put the words that they call North Dakota flex on it. See, a lot of people don't know those things.
Yeah.
You know, that's happening right in front of them. But yet they still respect it for what it is, but to get a real full understanding of it is what we need to be emphasizing. And we can do this on this media, I think. I don't know about you guys, but I'm willing to go that route.
Yeah. And see, that's what
Oh,
I
there's
think
lots
is
of them.
that if we could catch up to ourselves with this thing, somebody's got to take the initiative, and that's where the young people got to step in and help us understand the capabilities, but also realizing and recognizing the protection of the integrity of who we are based on our value system. I think that's if we get that together, oh man, that would really work, because then that would be um, respectful, if you will, for lack of a better word for how we're
Then the
living
next
now.
step, I would think was to find someone that has the grammatical skills,
Yeah,
the ability to be able to put this on the podcast here and
Type it on
set it
the-
up such a way that people
Yeah.
can see that this is how the words
Yeah.
go in the song. I call it a spirit of song, and I always have, And then I
Oh,
put the
that's
usage of the song, and history of it, and all that. So I got 12 texts with all the words explained. The only one I didn't release is "Walking a Red Road" because I was suspicious about the producer. And sure enough, that guy said, if I'm thinking of what's taking place here, he said, that guy owes you some royalty. So he's looking into that.
Residuals.
So
Yeah.
that surprised me. So
But you know,
anyway,
just another. Yeah. Go ahead, Chia.
no, I was coughing. I talk for so long, and then cool eye, it starts going down. But I'm getting what they call tidal air. My lungs are expanding better. Yeah.
Oh,
and my
cool.
next appointment, I hope that it all looks good, so they can do the procedure, put the mesh in.
Wow.
So
That'll make a difference.
It's all taken care of. So that means it's utilizing what they give me to balance out, because it's cirrhosis. Would ever think I'd ever get cirrhosis? It's not from boozy either. If I had that, I would have been gone a long time ago.
Omni Omani Ota. Lila Hehani, he said. Well, when is that? Day before yesterday. Oh.
Yeah.
Lila Hehani.
Are you at home right now?
Oh.
Are you at home? Right.
Yeah. M-E-L-O right there, look.
I was looking at that, I said, there's not even a smile in that picture. It's pretty like that right now.
You know, just from personal experience, you know, as we teach about the importance of critical thought and taking initiative and whatnot, but we have to understand our ability to collaborate as well. You can't do it all. You know, as hyper as I used to be and all that good stuff, I want to do this. Like I would help my dad with the water, the woods, and getting the wood and all that good stuff, and getting his medicine ready. I'd do everything because I was so hyper, and he let me do that. But there's no way I could do it all. And then my brothers would come, and I'd forget something, they'd bring it, and I'd forget this, they'd bring it. But just like Chie Earl Toshka, he tried to teach me how to sing, eh? No, I can't. Mike Hotheim tried to teach me how to sing. Bob Forster tried to teach me how to sing. Russell Standing Rock tried to teach me how to sing. These guys, all these big singers try to teach me how to sing. I can't sing. Oh, Earl used to get mad at me. I'd be hitting the drum. He'd knock my stick off the drum. Hooray, you're a champion dancer and you can't even keep time. let alone carry a pitch. But the point that I'm making there,
on your head.
the point that I'm making,
Cheap, right between the eyes.
oh, correct. And we have
Anyway.
to understand the importance of doing this together. That's what it's representative of. As much as I'd like to do it all by myself, I can't. I have to have all this support. I have to be surrounded by all this support. Like my brother Chet Earl, he'd be the singer. And then I'd get somebody to be an announcer, and then I'd get some dancers, and I get some more singers. Then they'd help him out, and all these things. But collectively, we'd understand the importance of how we can support one another in a good way, unconditionally, and that's the key. But at the same time, if I respected that, every one of those people that I asked to help me out, I would make sure they were taken care of. You know, the old Indian trick is, hey, could you come and help me? Yeah, they come and just leave them. One guy come up here to do a Sundance in Korea. He said, okay, well, they'll take care of me. They didn't even get him a room or food or nothing. I said, holy crap, I was just embarrassed, you know, because I travel so much, and they asked me to go help them. I go, boy, they really take care of me. And that's in Indian country, we've got to understand that. We'd love to support you and help you, but it costs us not only money, but time and effort, and of course, all the teachings we had to get to that point in our life. That all needs to be taken into consideration, you know. But we think that just because it's an Indian thing, that they should do it for free. It's not about it's not about the money. It's about the respect that is due, and how we deal with that. How we give money is, and why we give money is because, like, when somebody comes help me, I'll have money in my hand and I'll shake their hand and I'll leave it in their hand when we're done. And again, that's out of respect, because I know how hard it is for them to do what they did for me, and I was depending on them. They understood that statement. And so, you know, we don't ask anybody to do this unconditionally. And the reason we give them money is because what we share with them is, get what you need with this. That's what I tell them. Because long ago, we'd get staples: bacon, flour, baking powder, stuff like that, and share that with them. But now, because we don't know their needs, we just give them money and say, get what you need. Maybe he needs gas or candy for his kids, or whatever. Then he gets what he needs, not what I think he needs. And so that's an indication of respect. Again, that's why we're transferring money instead of goods, instead of staples. So it's not disrespect. That's what I mean about adapting this virtual experience to something that maintains the integrity, just like from giving staples and then changing it to giving money, because we all don't need all that lard, and maybe we've got enough lard, enough coffee, enough tea, enough flour now, and to give them more would just be not very respectful. So we could tell them, give them money. Does that make sense, Chia? You think that would something?
I'm right with you. There's one suggestion that I have, and it just popped in my head as you were on. You know, next week, Thursday, what do you have planned for that?
Nothing yet. Still open.
I'm going to be down in Mel's camp at a puberty ceremony.
Yeah.
So I can pick you guys up down there, right? Vice versa, Elijah? That possible?
That's possible. Yeah.
Can we get some people to kind of give a little presentation about what they do down there? Because my board, I think, would really be appreciative of the years that we've been doing this puberty ceremony for the young girls. My granddaughter is going to be in it this year. So I've had 3
That would be dandy if we can get them on here.
So you guys can, get to
that could work.
Scan the place. And I have the camera. You guys sent me a camera, so
yeah.
But we'll stay in touch.
Hey, did you get that new mic and that? Did
Yeah,
you
I
get that
got
new
it.
mic? What'd you send him? Okay.
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
a yeah.
yeah, you
Headphones, you're
watch,
supposed
but
to
I
have
know I haven't
headphones.
hooked it up and tried it out yet. Huh?
I
Yeah.
thought you had headphones too.
That's a gold mic.
Yeah.
I didn't see no what, but it's
Yeah, there should be a headphone and a golden mic.
Holy,
Ah,
how come
they're
I got a
doing them.
golden mic? Sure, this guy gets everything.
New computer,
Hey.
gold mic. Man,
Yeah, change my name to Earl Bullet. I'll get something.
just have that.
And then he lost it.
That's here, but I looked at it. So then we have everything that we can set up here. I gotta.
Hey, but
you know, so
what he
give
was
it a
saying,
try.
yeah, but what he was saying, Toshka, let them do a little presentation on your next Thursday. Heck, that'd be dandy.
Yeah,
Talk to them.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got that camera and stuff you could hook up. And,
Yeah, guys, we get more audience down there in South
heck
Dakota.
yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, you know, and maybe
Yeah, you
someone
could even
offer
you could even record it, and then we could just watch parts
you
of it
tobacco.
later on. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they'll give you some tobacco, get one of those dogs off your hand for the thunder beans, huh?
Yeah, right. But that'd work.
Well, maybe two, because really miss the time. It's got to Saint Bernard, you know?
Yeah. But you know, that's what that's my dilemma, is how we can apply maintaining the integrity of our value system and make it work on this virtual experience. Because boy, that would be, you know, the time issue would just be, wouldn't have to worry about it no more. Because just like a phone call, we'd be here, and like what Earl was saying, you could type all the words and the enunciation, the grammatical
Easy
marks
peasy.
and
I
all
could
that.
do that anytime, man.
Oh man, see, nephew,
There it is, see?
see, I knew it.
Don't get me started, man. Hook it up.
Put the diamond in the roof there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's so many things that we could do on here that would help our people understand the importance of being a critical thinker. And just like us, we're exercising that today, and we're just thinking of that. We just thought of that, and we don't want to impose or infringe on anybody else's right to exist. But this would be important to what we discussed earlier about, you know, the giving of the ochbari for the songs, for singing them, or and it's not purchasing, but being able to sing that song, because it's not a purchase per se. It's just a right to sing that song. So you don't purchase songs.
We did a recording called Spirit of Song, and while we were waiting, you know, that people that were supposed to have the session that hour didn't show up. So I said, well, while we're waiting, I said, let us practice, you know. He said,
Yeah.
go right ahead. He said, I'll soundproof. So we started singing how many songs, around that songs, 49 songs, thought nothing of it, or just singing. And all that time, for some reason, he didn't switch it off or something. He recorded all of it. It's called Signals of the Heart.
Yeah.
And when that came out, you know, his grandma walked up, she said, Signals of the Heart. She said, are you guys trying to snag?
Signals of the heart.
Cracked me up, man. Okay,
Yeah.
you guys are trying to snag.
Right away. Yeah. But no, I
Well, I
think
gotta get ready for it. Another trip.
that
Going
would
down
work.
Yeah. I think that'll be good for everybody. We need more visibility, I guess you would say.
Once we get it all refined and boy, we could have something going here, and then we'll be like the non-Indians. We'll be like the non-Indians, and we'll copyright it and just make all kinds of money, man. Oh,
And give it to somebody.
yeah,
Donate
yeah,
to somebody. But anyway, so I'm gonna take the recorder down there with me, then I'll
Yeah.
take the microphone. We're way out in the sticks, and there's, you know, in the morning you hear the birds singing and all that stuff. And we
Oh,
record all of
wow.
that, and then we start putting songs to it, and we can go from there. the song I sang for a couple weeks ago, what ready for an elf. That'd be a good one. People from down there will
Hey,
recognize Nederland.
Toshka, since he's
that?
going to do that for us, and we're not going to go, namazaska unchia.
Yeah.
Give him some traveling money for that, because then we could have, then we'll have it on there, and make sure he can make a breakfast for them or something, money for, you know what I'm saying, because we would like to maintain that respect, and maybe offer the tobacco and ask them to help him, and he would be helping us, you see. But I would think now that would be up to you though, Toshka.
No, I could request. Yeah, I could request. I don't have the funding myself with a grant, but like we've exhausted but like we do have some other funding we can request, but I think it would be doable, I believe.
Remember that 3,000 we got donated from that one program?
Mhm.
Did we spend that already?
I'm not sure. We shouldn't have. I'd have to contact.
We should have some of that left, yeah. But anyway, Chie, we'll try that, and then we can get them recorded, because you see, that's important too, especially for our young girls. That becoming a woman ceremony, that's really a very strong ceremony. So, but anyway, that's up to you, Coach. So if you figure we can do that,
That'll get me used to getting things set up, and we'll do it. Some of it here in just to test the sound levels and all that. But I've always wanted to do that. Such a beautiful place,
Yeah.
It's really something. We'll see all the things that we've gone through over the years. We have a kitchen, a professional chef kitchen. We have an arbor that's all screened. We got a washing. We got a shower facility with bathrooms and all, everything that you need to keep clean. And we got sweat lodges. We got medicine rock. We got all these activities for these kids. And there's going to be lots of them because of the pandemic. It's kind of lighten up a little bit. But that's going to be cool. And then this is going to be my last granddaughter, so I have to take her down and get her. So she gets her Lakota name. So that'll be all right. Well, when it's 5:05 news time.
Okay.
Raining, snowing, or someplace, or.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Headphone and microphone like yours, man. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh,
you look like a pilot.
Like his, yeah.
But yours will be gold. Yeah. Be golds, and you got one of these, man. You'll be true podcaster. True podcast. Wow.
Stick to do, man.
So I believe we're at the top of the hour. So relatives will Doksta Kewachia Kapikte Apeti Washte Hapo.
Nija.
Hey ha ya hey ha ya hey ya hey yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya hey ya hey ya hey yo hey yo hey yo hey ha ya 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 hey yo hey yo Fort Beck Community College Ukiye Bino yo me too gashi dagush kashka yogi no yo wata pevi hagi tabi ihaji ya bino